The MCU has been out for almost 14 years, and that's really crazy. What started out as one Iron Man movie has turned into an entire franchise of interconnecting stories, fan favorite characters, and a collection of amazing movies and shows. Now, as the MCU grows, the more the community does. As diverse the Marvel community is, there's one thing that they all have in common, and that's getting each other overly worked up. What I mean by that is that Marvel fans will theorize about something and thus do anything in their power to confirm it's true. While this has been going on for a while, it has taken on a whole new level of insanity recently. Before I go any further, there will be spoilers to these two shows and possibly some parts of this movie. You have been warned. I really felt this when WandaVision started. Now, the difference between WandaVision and previous MCU products is that it was a weekly episodic tale of Wanda and Vision post-Endgame. With it being weekly episodes, those episodes would often end in cliffhangers, leaving buzzy Marvel fans right to TikTok and Reddit to theorize. Throughout the first 4 episodes of WandaVision, the fan theories were pretty tame, but when Pietro showed up at the end of episode 5, the Marvel community went insane. As a Marvel fan myself, I got insanely caught up in it as well. I went nuts when I saw Evan Peters at the door. I immediately was bombarded by fan theories and was abducted into it, and the name everyone was saying was Mephisto. Pietro is Mephisto. Agatha's husband is Mephisto. Mephisto was all people would talk about to the conclusion of the show, and it was honestly ridiculous how much this man/demon was talked about. After episode 6, my theory hype was died down, but these fuckers kept going until the very end, when it turned out the whole thing with Pietro was a fucking boner joke. Good one, Marvel. You would think that the Marvel community would have learned its lesson after WandaVision, but then we get to the next heavily theorized MCU show, Loki. Now, I will say I was much happier with Loki than WandaVision, and I went into it knowing that the theories were going to be insane, and the biggest one was Kang. Initially, I thought Kang will not be the villain. Why would Kang be the big bad? Shouldn't they be saving him for the end of Phase 4? But I was fucking proven wrong. It was fucking Kang. Well, technically He Who Remains, a variant of Nathaniel Richards, but at the end we did get a glimpse of Kang's rule over the TVA, which honestly had me in utter shock. I never thought that Marvel would go this big, and for those of you who read the comics, Kang is a real big bad, and one of the coolest villains in all of Marvel Comics. But the downside to this beautiful Season 1 finale for Loki was that I think some fans got a little too excited. I think that the Kang appearance went to people's heads, and now they believe that any fucking thing can happen. And that brings me to my main point. Spider-Man No Way Home. Holy shit, this movie has been theorized more than either WandaVision or Loki, and it hasn't even fucking come out yet. The hype for this movie is so unreal. I completely understand it too. I love Spider-Man, he's my favorite Marvel character, I've read so many of the comics, but the fact that these motherfuckers are out here analyzing crew member shirts for it being Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man suit is unreal. These motherfuckers, especially this one guy on TikTok, have non-stop been predicting that all 3 actors who played Spider-Man will be in the movie. Tobey Maguire is 50! Now sure, the multiverse has been open because of Loki, and 2 previous villains have been confirmed, and Sam Raimi is directing the Multiverse of Madness. This doesn't necessarily mean all 3 Spider-Men. And while toys have shown some very compelling stuff, like backgrounds to previous movies, I refuse to get my hopes up. Although there are so many signs that all 3 Spider-Man are gonna be in the movie, I am afraid to have my dreams shattered. I am honestly very excited to see this movie, and the whole world is, but I think everyone has successfully scared Sony and Marvel from releasing a trailer, because of fear that the fans won't like it. Literal movie theater managers have put up fan-made posters because of how starving they are for a trailer, which should be out now because the movie is supposed to come out in like 5 months. Now here's what I honestly think will happen in the movie. I think that Spider-Man will travel through different Spider-Man movies to defeat Dr. Octopus and Electro from Spider-Man 2 and Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I don't think that'll include Andrew or Tobey. I think this will be completely separate. While I'm praying to everything that Tobey and Andrew will be in the movie, I wouldn't get our hopes up yet. Although Kirsten Dunst, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire have been spotted in the area where they are doing reshoots is a very good sign, but interpret that as you will. Listen, Marvel is a very exciting franchise and has overwhelming popularity and an amazing community. I really hope I'm proven wrong and Spider-Man is worth the hype, but I think we all in the Marvel community need to take a step back and calm down before getting too overexcited. But all I have to say is, Sony, put Tobey and Andrew in, please.
Pizza time.